Alright, game time once again. Here we go. This time I've got Azami. I was just dabbling in different decks, so I decided to go with this one. And my opponent, the great Biliardo, is playing with Rubinia, although you can't see it right there because commanders aren't showing up in the replays. He leads going first with Alchemist Refuge, which means that he either is worried about Wasteland or he has a really, really weak mana draw. So we may be able to punish him for that with all these counter spells, depending on what's going on here. Aha, it's all made clear now. Amylary Sphere. And I wish I had gone first. I mean, obviously you always wish you go first, but imagine negate on this with this dicey mana draw. Probably wrap the game up right there. So I'm just going to develop a bit. Sacking the Sphere. It's good for him. Alright, I definitely plan to remand pretty much whatever he plays here just in order to draw. Hopefully it's something that uses most of his mana, and that's about perfect. That's so good. It forces a discard too, because he's at 8. I love when remand does that. Alright. I'm speeding through the turn there. When I was trying to record this replay earlier in the game, the replay hung when I was in the middle of casting this thing. So it's kind of interesting here. I'm gonna try to resize this a bit. I've got a much bigger frame. There we go. That's better. Alright. Sylvan Ranger, not worth countering, I think, even though he's a little bit shy on mana. But I know he's got the Eternal Witness in his hand still, so I felt like if he played another land afterward, I kind of would rather counter the Eternal Witness. Detention Sphere, and I certainly don't mind negating that, because I like to keep my Chalice out. Alright, 6 mana. So there's something to be said here for just casting Rubinia, casting Azami, but of course he's got enough mana to play Rubinia, and if anything sucks, it's having your Azami stolen, and having to not only dig your way out of that hole, but also your opponent gets to use your commander the whole time. So it will not be doing that, even though I've got Bribery as a backup, and he probably does have something in his deck that would kill Rubinia, or bounce it or steal it or something. It's not a play I'm willing to make, certainly since I'm not under any kind of pressure here, although this is kind of annoying. Oh, Patron Wizard. That's kind of interesting. So right now I'm just planning on chilling here and waiting. So now I've got actually something to back up my Azami play. I'm going to go get Force of Will with Merchant Scroll. End of turn. He flashes out the Eternal Witness. So we're just going to Snapcaster that. And remand it again. Just like to get that guy on the board, so I can definitely run out the Azami play, backed up by Force of Will next turn and draw 2 cards immediately. Cycles Cross and Tusker. I'm so happy to see him do that over casting Rubinia, but then he plays another land and caster, and of course I have to force that. It's an easy... What did I throw away? Bribery. Yeah, I think Bribery is probably the right call here, given that if I hit one more land on the next 2 pulls, I feel like I pretty much have the game locked up. So now I cast Azami. I made a big mistake here. Not tapping the seat of Synod was really stupid. There was no reason not to leave this untapped because it's just much more vulnerable than a basic island. And that is going to matter a lot, as you will see. Yeah, this was a terrible play. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, obviously I could just have 2 untapped islands here instead of the seat. Because, look, Harmonic Sliver. Oh boy. It's a good play on his part, definitely, to see this. It attacks me. And now I'm naked, and my opponent plays Spawn Broker. So I'm going to draw in response for a miracle. I don't even know what, honestly. Well, I might as well make use of the ability. I get a Mox Diamond. And Spawn Broker, if you could think of a better creature to steal than Azami, I would be quite surprised. Given that not only do you... Obviously, you can make this swap because she has 0 power, but Spawn Broker is a wizard also. So he just stole my draw engine and played his own for 3 mana. Pretty insane. And now a game that I felt was just, pretty much in the bag is already in desperation mode. So I'm killing the Alchemist Refuge because it really screws with things. And I suppose probably playing the... I think I was keeping Spell Crumple here, just in case he cast I guess he couldn't even cast Rubinia, though. What does he have? One... No, actually, he can cast Rubinia next turn. I really wanted to keep Spell Crumple mana up in case he went for the Rubinia play, but I guess I have Patron Wizard as well. I think it would have made sense to just play Seascryer here rather than just saying go. But I guess I decided I wanted the ability to crumple. Fiend Hunter. Alright, so we can power sync that. Power sync that. Just going to lapse it to buy some time. All the memory lapse in this situation is just dreadfully bad. And he regrows the... what did he get anyway? Is there a log of this game somewhere? It's kind of annoying, actually. I feel like the replay functions of Magic Online so far are really not cutting it right now. Like, I keep finding errors, and the fact that you don't get you can't see exactly what was targeted. Like, I don't see a record of it anywhere. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, he regrew something. So I'm just going to trade here. Keep the Sliver out of play, just in case he is playing with other Slivers and he could wreck me with it, because Harmonic Sliver has the ability to trigger other Slivers. We're not in desperate times, but if I don't draw some sort of way to bounce my own Azami in the next like 3 or 4 turns, this game's going to be over. That's nothing. Alright, Seascryer. Draws 2 more at the end of the turn. Oh, he got Alchemist Refuge. Okay, I can understand. He discarded this guy with Unearth 7. I actually kind of want him to do that, because I get a zombie back. Copy Artifact. That's not an answer. Alright. I can't think of a much worse situation you could be in here against a zombie plus a wizard, and your opponent has Alchemist Refuge and tons of land in play. So he can draw as much as he wants and cast the spells at the end of your turn to get around your power sync creatures. I'm just going to counterspell Fiend Hunter because I need to have Patron Wizard in play. I don't see a long-term way to win the game without Patron Wizard. I can at least counter that thing. Haha, I did something. Halimar Depths. Alright. Nature's Lore to reshuffle, I assume. Just going to hit me with this thing for a bit. Alright. We need something right now. Okay, he's using that during upkeep. What is he casting? Fierce Empath. Well, sir, let's counter that too. And I'm only doing this because I have Spell Crumple in my hand. I mean, this is desperate times at this point, so whatever I can stop. Alright, this has to be the draw for it all. And actually, literally as I was drawing this card, I had my hand right-clicked ready to concede, because I decided if I didn't draw anything this turn, I was just going to pack it in. I need something huge. Come on, deck, deliver. Bam! Could you imagine a better card to draw in this situation than Winter Orb? Lock down. Look at that. Seriously, it doesn't get much more glorious than that. 11 tapped land. Your opponent has his draw engine in play and no sources of artifact mana at all. And I have 2. And I'm going to be completely untapped with living triple power sync for 1 in play. Unbelievable. And I decide after a little bit of contemplation, I'm going to copy it for good measure. Because I don't see any long-term way to actually win this game without Winter Orb in play now. And might as well make 2 of them. It goes Simic Growth Chamber right away, but that's fine. He's beating down with the Spawn Broker. That's fine. So really he's only got this clock now, and I have just bought myself ages. Because it's going to take so long for him to fight through this. I might as well just attack, since I don't think he's doing anything next turn. This also worked too. He kept the Spawn Broker back because he was worried about 2 damage. And I guess he wants to draw more cards. Top. Massively awesome. Come on, deck. What do we got on top? Cryptic Command, Riptide Laboratory, and Island. Well, Riptide, despite the Winter Orb, is extremely awesome right now because of Snapcaster. I've got Scroll, Force of Will, Lapse, Counterspell, and Negate. Just allows me to double up on all of those things too. Not even attacking this turn for some reason. Just replay my top. Winter Orb's insane. Like, how ridiculous is this? There's no, I mean, he obviously should be drawing like crazy anyway, but it doesn't really do him that much good, and he can only play like 1 spell every 3 or 4 turns to get around this plus potential counters. It's just amazing. This is sort of like almost the classic Necro versus Winter Orb situation. So I'm just leaving the Cryptic Command on top because I want to develop my islands. I can always get it, of course, if I need to. So we're going to start doing Riptide Laboratory shenanigans with the Snapcaster Mage pretty soon. As soon as I draw that Cryptic Command, I'm planning on Merchant Scrolling to get some sort of bounce, to get Azami back. And he just gave me an opportunity. Just checking the top there. So we suspend Search for Tomorrow, or Soul Ring. And this seems adequate, honestly. I'm going to Power Sync it first to make it cost 3. Go negate it. Actually, I can make it cost 4. God, it's so brutal. Under Winter Orb, just to cast something as simple as a Soul Ring costs 4 mana, and I could negate it at the end anyway. And I've still got the Cryptic Command if I need it. Cryptic Command can also double up, of course, to... Well, I guess it doesn't work here because I have 2 orbs out. I was thinking to double up to bounce Winter Orb, but... Lightning Greaves. Alright, well, that's not that big of a deal. What's the follow-up? He's tapping all this mana. Aura Shards. Well... We saved the Crumple for something, and that was a pretty good target. I have no idea why he tapped all this mana, but whatever. Now he's totally tapped out again under Winter Orb. So I'm going to play Mana Crypt. Even though I'm at 25, I still feel like this is the right play, because I'm not really, honestly, that threatened by this thing. And the fact that he's tapped out, this gives me a lot more flexibility, especially with my new plan, which is to Merchant Scroll into Cyclonic Rift, because I can no longer just bounce this guy with a regular spell. There's Rain. I just actually added her on someone's suggestion. Haven't had a chance to have her come up yet, but I do see how she could be actually pretty damn useful. The creature I had in here before was Temporal Adept, which I was really unhappy with. It just never got the job done. Never even felt like casting it, honestly. I was going to play Search for Tomorrow. We're definitely going to just counter that by tapping a guy. Oh, we're Riptiding again. So now I'm going to go get Merchant Scroll. And I've been very sort of patiently biding my time here. I'm not really under any pressure, at least not short-term pressure, and no reason to take any risks. So won the flip, first time in ages. Finally drew the Cryptic Command. So this is a perfect example why I got Mana Crypt. This allows me to use the Snapcaster Mage for so much cheaper, just tapping only a single island. There's Cyclonic Rift. Alright, so now it's just a matter of waiting for the perfect moment to pull the trigger on this. It also got a reshuffle, which is nice. Chancery. Okay, I'm going to give you fair warning. The last time I went through this replay before I decided to record it, I actually encountered a bug that was exactly the same as an old 3.0 bug, where the game just hung after I drew a card that I didn't actually draw, and I believe that's coming next turn, so we can hope that that's not the case here. Yep, there it is, Glenelendra Archmage. That was definitely not on top of my deck in the actual game, which is really unfortunate. I don't really quite remember what card I drew, but it wasn't Glenelendra Archmage. So I think you're going to see that, yeah, pay 4. I'm not playing. Whatever it was, I actually played it. And, actually, I don't even know. Yeah, a few more turns went by here. Actually, I let him develop his mana a little bit more. And, just because I wasn't really under any immediate pressure to cast the Cyclonic Rift. And I wanted to wait to do it at a good time during the end of his turn, when I had the ability, when I didn't have to use the Mana Vault, mainly. So a few more turns went by. And finally, I did cast the Rift at the end of his turn. And he cast a Mystic Snake, and I tapped my guys to counter it, and he paid all the mana, and then I had Cryptic Command. And that left him... It's kind of weird, actually. We're just going to sit here for a bit. Yeah, so there's the... I guess maybe this is the Cyclonic Rift turn. But there you go. The game is ended. It doesn't say who won, but I think you can probably guess at this point. But yeah, the Cyclonic Rift picked up everything, and I got Azami back, and I was mostly untapped at that point, with the with quadruple wizard in play, and he was completely tapped out under Winter Orb, and obviously he scooped it up. But I reported the replay bug. I honestly am completely stunned and can't believe that that bug manifests in their new client. It just blows my mind that somehow that's happened. I don't know who they've got programming there, but hopefully they can figure out what's going on with it based on my feedback, and hopefully it doesn't happen too often. More replays to come, though. See you soon.